What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. We have a pretty interesting firearm to show you today, a pretty rare firearm, actually. Now, I know some of you are saying, wait a minute, Turkey, that's a Smith & Wesson 2.0 metal. That's not very rare. And actually, it is rare, though, because this one here is chambered in 357 SIG. Pay no attention to the M&P 40 stamping on the side, and pay a bunch of attention to that barrel marking. That represents some of the awesomeness of the M&P 2.0 platform in 40 Smith & Wesson. We recently made a video where I had said how awesome some of these pistols are in 40 Smith & Wesson, because you can easily, at least with the M&P 2.0s, switch to 357 SIG or 9mm. So basically one frame can handle at least 3 different calibers or cartridges. People will mention 3 or 9x25 Dillon. I don't know anything about that, but at least you get 357 SIG and 9mm. It's as simple as a magazine swap when it comes to the 9mm along with the barrel swap. But for 357 SIG, I can't even talk, it simply is just a barrel swap. And then somebody else had mentioned in the comments, yeah, try to find a barrel for that conversion. And truthfully, I can't tell you where to go. That's against the rules, but you can find the barrels everywhere for the full size or the shield, actually. And those same barrels are interchangeable between the 1.0 and the 2.0. There's not much of a difference in these barrels. There's minor little geometry differences, but nothing big. And it works well, locks up very tight in this pistol. So let's go ahead and get to shooting this. I have some Wesson 124 grain. That's no joke ammunition. That's pretty powerful 357 SIG. And that's the whole point of 357 SIG. You're taking a 9mm round and you're really spicing it up a lot. You're getting spicier than 40 caliber. You're getting spicier sometimes than 10mm, actually. But you still maintain the capacity of a 40 caliber handgun. You don't have as much capacity as a 9. So let's say instead of 17 plus 1, you're down to 15 plus 1. But boy, when you talk about velocity and foot-pounds of energy, a big difference. 357 SIG is very awesome. 357 SIG is dying a slow death, and I don't understand what is behind that. The manufacturers just don't seem to want to cooperate with the cartridge. Even SIG doesn't make a handgun chambered in 357 SIG anymore. They've left it up to Glock. Glock is the only, thank God, Glock is doing it. They're the only company currently that I know of making an actual production 357 SIG. Supposedly Stealth Arms is going to make a platypus in 357 SIG, but we're not sure about that yet. So I'll quit talking. Let's just get to shooting. Let's see what this 357 SIG feels like out of this M&P 2.0 metal. So these Smith & Wesson magazines are actually marked 40 Smith & Wesson or 357 SIG. We have the Wesson 357 SIG, 124 or 125 grain total metal jacket. I can't remember the exact velocity. We'll check in a second, but these are no joke. These are definitely pretty hot. We might get some fire breathing out of this pistol. Feels very nice out of this pistol, actually. We do have very good lockup on that barrel. Very nice. It's not hard to shoot at all. Feels like a 40 Smith & Wesson very easily, actually. Still getting pretty used to this gun. That's why I'm just taking it slow for now, but we're getting good hits. And we definitely broke the target. That's always a good day when we break the target. So let's see, I'll go for, I don't know, I'll just go for headshots for the last couple. All right, we locked open. Let's go take a look at the target we just broke. Typical headshottery, no big deal. And we actually did totally break this one this time. We were working on cracking the edges off of these things, but we actually did finally break it. So no joke, we've been shooting this target all day long. We shot it yesterday with 45 a lot. We shot it today with, I don't know, 40 Smith & Wesson. We were shooting it with a 357 Magnum, and 357 SIG is actually what finally broke it. So no joke of a cartridge, guys. And they all landed right there where they were supposed to. They land, I mean, I'm not doing super precision shooting, but pretty darn good for a drop-in barrel. All right, we have 15 more loaded up, and just, well, we had an inertial load, so it didn't do that when we first bought this gun. We haven't headed out too much, but we did have an inertial loading, so that could just be due to the different barrel. Something's a little bit smoother, but anyway, just so you know, that happens. But camera guy's gonna give me a couple ups here and there. I have really the poor shades on, so I can kind of see, but Just going to take a couple double or triples. Up. 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 The plate gets to wobble and you can barely see it if it's settled or not. Up. All right, we locked open. Like I said, it felt really good. We had a couple in the center. We had a couple everywhere. I might have missed one, but feeling pretty darn good. That's actually very manageable. All right, let's see what kind of velocity we get out of this 125 grain lawman. And let's see if we can get any accuracy out of it. Which I have some screwed up light. We did hit the X-ring though. 1385 here and 1395 there on the Caldwell. That's pretty darn good velocity. 1392 and 1394. My lighting is horrible, but I'm keeping it on or in the X-ring. 1362, 1358. 1390 and 1389. And I maybe squeaked one right by. We had 1380 and 1380. They completely agreed. Let's take a look at the target. All right, like I said, we either were in or touching the X-ring. I'll take that. My lighting's really bad. The glasses that I'm using today are actually yellow, and it's really bad for dusk. But getting used to the gun, it feels good. Like I said, that's good enough accuracy. I think 357 SIG is a good option for the M&P 2.0 metal. All right, let's shoot the last 15 rounds out of that box just to make sure they all run well. All right, there they go. I always recommend shooting your guns one-handed, both hands one-handed, right and left, no matter which is your dominant hand. Practice with both. Sometimes you can get a little weak-wristed. You want to make sure that that's not going to be a problem. But in general, it's always good to practice with both. All right, there you go. I think I proved it that this is a worthy platform for 357 SIG. I don't know if Smith & Wesson will ever watch this video, but please, Smith & Wesson, I begged you guys to make this in 40. That's awesome. You did. Now let's do it in 357 SIG. I don't see why you wouldn't. To tell anybody the truth at home, this is really just a barrel swap. It uses the same spring. As far as I know, I'm 99% sure it's the same spring as the 40 Smith & Wesson. Again, the same magazines. It's so easy. But even if you can't get one that's actually marked, because I know some of us are really weird about this, we want the actual marking. That's what we want, Smith & Wesson. We want this thing to say 357, like the old school 1.0s did. I carry one all the time. I actually have one on my hip right now. Let's check it out real quick. This is a Smith & Wesson 1.0 with a sheriff star on it because it's a trade-in. It says 357 SIG on the barrel. That's an original. It's the MCSO, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. I love this gun. It's the old school original. It's never failed me. It's a really nice gun. And as crazy and stupid as it is, it's really nice that it actually is marked M&P 357. 10mm made a comeback? Come on, there's no reason 357 SIG can't do it. Besides, it's 9mm projectiles. How easy can it get? All the shenanigans aside, I really do like the M&P 2.0 metal. I know people that have the 9mm. I wasn't going to buy that because I'm just not a big 9mm fan. I have the 40 caliber now, and I really like it. It's proven to be a very nice gun. The M&P 2.0 lineup is awesome, with the exception, in my opinion, of some of the 10mm. Some of them run great, some of them don't. But as far as the rest of the M&P lineup, they're usually flawless, including the shields. And I'm talking the handguns. I'm not talking about the folding pistol carbine or anything like that. I'm strictly talking about the duty handguns and the shield lineup. Let us know in the comment section what you think about 357 SIG, the idea of putting it into the 2.0 metals. Do you think it's a better option than 9, than 40, 45, 10mm, all the rest of them? Or do you think it's just a total junk cartridge that deserves to go to the graveyard? With that said, be nice in the comment section, guys. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this type of content. Hope you enjoyed this video. And until we see you at the next one, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting. Definitely get out the 357 SIGs.